to be yourself or play a role.
Two big stories tonight. Singer-actress Aaliyah is killed in a plane crash. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. A breaking story out of the Bahamas tonight. Authorities have confirmed that R&B singer and actress Aaliyah is among 8 people killed in a plane crash.
Yeah, the plane crashed as it tried to take off from the island of Abaco in the Bahamas. 9 people, all Americans, were on board that plane. One man survived the crash and was taken to a nearby hospital. The plane was leaving Marsh Harbor Airport around 3:50 local time when it went down.
Was killed in a head-on collision last night in Honduras. Officials say she was driving at the time and died instantly. 7 other people in the car survived. Lisa was a member of TLC, the best-selling girl group in history. Lisa would have turned 31 next month. And right now I have a very special interview I want to share with you. Joining me on the phone are T-Boz and Chili of TLC. And ladies, I want to thank you for taking time to talk to me on this very, very sad day. And I want to offer my condolences to you and to the family.
Thank you.
And T-Boz, I want to start with you if I could. Could you tell me about the Lisa you knew?
Yes. Lisa was one of the most people I knew. One of the biggest hearts. She's the only person I knew that would take a person off the street and take care of him, give her the shirt off her back. One of the most talented people I know as well.
In the early 2000s, the female hip-hop community lost 2 of its most well-known stars, Aaliyah and Lisa Lopes. Aaliyah was killed on August 25, 2001 in a plane crash in the Bahamas, and Lisa Lopes died in a car accident on April 25, 2002 in Honduras. This is the story of the death of Aaliyah and Lisa Lopes. Aaliyah Donna Houghton, better known simply as Aaliyah, was born on January 16, 1979 in Brooklyn, New York, and was later raised in Detroit, Michigan. She would audition for the talent show Star Search in 1989, but failed to make the cut. She would later go on to sing with singer Gladys Knight. Aaliyah would get her breakthrough in 1994 with her single album Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Produced by rapper R. Kelly, the song would sell millions of copies. Her other 2 popular singles were Back and Forth and At Your Best, You Are Love. There was a rumor that Aaliyah and R. Kelly, then 27 at the time, had gotten married, but Aaliyah had denied this. With her music career now in full swing, she began to venture into the movie world. In 1997, she recorded the song Journey to the Past, and it would soon become the hit theme song for the 1997 animated movie Anastasia. She would later perform a song for the 1988 Oscars as well. Also in 1998, she recorded a song for the Eddie Murphy movie Dr. Dolittle. The song was called Are You That Somebody and earned her her first Grammy. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Aaliyah began filming roles. In the year 2000, she had a big role in the movie Romeo Must Die, opposite of martial arts star Jet Li. She performed one of her most popular and well-known hit songs called Try Again, and this earned her her second Grammy. In July 2001, Aaliyah released her 3rd album named Aaliyah, which was a massive success on the Billboard office charts. Aaliyah also got roles in movies such as Queen of the Damned and The Matrix. On August of 2001, Aaliyah and members of her team had just finished shooting a music video for her song Rock the Boat. This was filmed in the Bahamas, and Aaliyah had flew there to get some of her footage. She was scheduled to fly back on August 26, but filming ended earlier than expected. The flight would leave Marsh Harbor in the Abaco Islands of the Bahamas to Opa-locka Airport in Florida. The plane was a propeller-driven Cessna 402 aircraft. Many of the film crew were annoyed that the flight had been delayed. Some of the team argued with the pilot, Luis Morales III, and the charter pilot, Louis Key, had voiced concern the plane was being overloaded. However, Aaliyah and her entourage pressured the pilots to leave as they need to be back in Miami the next night, which would be Saturday. One of the engines had difficulty starting, and the plane struggled to become airborne. The plane crashed shortly soon after, just 200 feet from the runway. Aaliyah and most of her crew died instantly. Another member died shortly afterward. A witness who saw the crash recounted it and said it was an awful sight. Some bodies were badly disfigured. You couldn't identify them, and 2 guys were still alive, screaming. He was screaming horribly, burned all over. Aaliyah's death soon became news, and many celebrities voiced their condolences. It was revealed that Aaliyah had been severely burned and suffered a massive hit to the head. She was in such a state of shock that even if she survived, her recovery would have been nearly impossible. Aaliyah's body was returned to the United States, and she was buried in her native New York. Lisa Lopes was born on May 27, 1971, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Her father had served in the Army, and her mother was a seamstress. Lopes would describe her household as being like boot camp due to her father's demanding nature. Her parents would soon divorce, but she picked up music from her father. She formed a small music trio with her siblings called the Lopes Kids, and they sang gospel songs in their church. In the early 1990s, Lopes moved to Atlanta, Georgia to audition for the girl group TLC. The group took the name from the first initials of their names, Tion, T-Boz Watkins, Lisa Lopes, and Crystal Jones. Jones would later leave the band and was replaced by Rosanda Thomas from the group Damian Dame to replace her. To keep the C part of the name intact, Lopes suggested the nickname Chili. Lopes then received the nickname of Left Eye because someone said her left eye was more slanted than her right eye. TLC soon shot to prominence with their 1992 song Ooh on the TLC trip. The song sold millions of copies, and TLC soon became a household name. Around this time, Lisa began to see and date Atlanta Falcons player Andre Rison. However, the relationship was often described as violent and unstable. On September 2nd, 1993, Lisa filed an assault charge against Rison, and in a 1994 incident, she allegedly dumped Rison's belongings in a fiberglass bathtub and lit it on fire. The bathtub soon began to melt, and fire soon spread to the surrounding room. This incident was reported from the belief that Rison was dating another woman. Left Eye had to pay a $10,000 fine and 5 years probation for the first-degree arson charge. Both Rison and Lopes would eventually get back together. While with TLC, she was known to openly voice her issues with drugs and alcohol. She stated that she had come from an abusive household where violence and alcohol was the norm. Left Eye's antics often caused tensions with the rest of the TLC group. Left Eye would later leave TLC for good and start a solo career. She went on to produce her solo album called Supernova, and it was her last album before her death. Just 2 weeks before her death, Lopes was involved in a crash in Honduras in which a van driven by one of Lopez's staff members hit and killed a child by the name of Bayron Isao Fuentes Lopes. This apparently bothered Lopes even more since both her and the boy shared the same last name, Lopes. Lisa was in Honduras doing humanitarian work for the children there. On April 25th, 2002, Lisa Lopes was driving outside the Honduran town of La Ceiba. She was driving a red Mitsubishi Montero and had swerved to avoid a truck that was immediately to the right of her in order to avoid another oncoming vehicle. The maneuver caused the car to hit 2 trees and then flip over multiple times before coming to a rest in a ditch on the side of the road. Left Eye and 2 others were ejected from the car, and Left Eye was killed instantly from a fracture to the base of her cranium and cerebral trauma. The others were badly injured but ultimately survived the crash. A cameraman was sitting right beside Left Eye on the passenger side and recorded a video of the incident. Lisa's sister, Regan Thorpe Lopes, survived the crash. Lopes was 30 years old when she died. She was buried in Lithona, Georgia on May 2nd, 2002.